Hi guys, Richie here. There have been some questions since we put out the public auditions for Slime, and I just wanted to very quickly kind of show you guys what exactly is going to go into a audition. Now, there's a couple of things that are just my personal preferences that you won't really see there and won't make too much of a difference when you actually turn in your final product. But I wanted to make sure that it was possible to go ahead and show you guys the general recording process. So I am going to pull up the script for Slime 9 and do like actually, you know what? I should probably do the script for Slime 8 so I'm not just publicly giving spoilers away. Nah, let's do Slime 9. You guys deserve at least 3 lines of content, right? Everybody wants a little bit of spoilers. But for context, I have lines that have to sound a little bit different in the takes. So that will be helpful. And then I'll have like a couple of sentences where I can change things up and kind of play around with them a little bit. And as the voice of the Great Sage, I'm just going to put it out as if I'm auditioning for the Great Sage. So this will just kind of be an idea as to what all you need to do. And these are very important things. Of course, Audacity is free. That's what I'm using. It doesn't have to be what you use if you've got professional software, recording software that you paid for, go you. But a good mic, a nice area that you can record in, that's very important, guys. And I know people have asked me this because they're like, oh, I record in a closet. That's okay, especially if there's lots and lots of clothes in there. If you got clothes, you got like a big thick comforter or blanket that you want to put in there to help deaden the sound. Don't record in a corner. Sound bounces off of corners, especially corners of like your if your walls look anything like mine, and I don't mean covered in posters. I mean if they're just kind of basic sheetrock esque with a little bit of paint on them, kind of walls. Sound bounces off of those kind of pretty good. I will tell you a cheap little trick is getting going over to your mattress section and getting some of those foam mattress tops, you know, the little egg foam kind of things. I put those on my wall and that helps out a bit. I've got a comforter here, I've got a comforter there, and I have a lighting set up for streaming. But essentially, yeah, I mean, Great Sage is kind of cheating because you have to talk kind of softly when you do it, and that means you need to be closer to the mic and blah blah blah. But make sure you do a sound check before you even start recording. You need to know what you sound like and look at your sound waves. Make sure you're not peaking. The last thing that we want to do as directors is listen to a track and then have peaking going on, so you scream a line of dialogue and it's just killing our ears because your microphone's gain was not set up properly. So you want to do a quick mic check. So you want to do something on the low end, kind of soft, and you also want to do something loud and high. So we'll do a proper mic check. You could do like normal speaking voice, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hello, this is Great Sage. I speak very softly. And then I get loud and animated. See how it's kind of peaking, but it's not like going above. That's kind of good. You want something similar to that. All right. Now let's get to actually recording for an audition. Now you don't have to use the same setup that I have. Your mic may be different. You may be able to actually control the gain on your mic, or it may be something that you have to go into recording volume and adjust the gain in Audacity. Uh, it's kind of a it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Also, if you have Skype, be careful because sometimes Skype will interfere and just automatically readjust the recording volume or the gain through Audacity. That's something to look out for. Uh, I don't use Skype anymore, and I don't know a lot of people who did. Pretty much once we realized Discord was better, we just rolled with that. All right, so let me really quickly go over to the audio side of things. I want to make sure, pardon me, woo, I want to make sure that you guys are going to be able to hear the audio that I'm putting together. Now, I also want to do a quick check because I know my washing machine is going, and I did this on purpose because I wanted to make sure I've got my door open, my washing machine, and I wanted to make sure that you guys know that outside sources of sound can be a problem. So let's really quickly, I'm going to record some silence and we're going to check and see if the mic picks up the washing machine. Okay, doesn't look like it, but let's listen real quick. No, it doesn't. But that's good. But I also wanted to use that as a way to be like, hey, it's very important that you make sure you close your doors and stuff if other things are happening. So let me go and close my door real quick and we'll get started. Also, as adorable as he is, if he was allowed pup, if he was loud and not a cute, adorable, quiet boy, Toby here, say hi to everybody, Toby. Just wave a paw. There you go. Yeah, that you didn't look like you were crying for help at all. Um, but Toby here would most definitely not be welcome if I was recording, especially if I had. Go ahead, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Especially if like he's shaking around, or if you had like bowls of his food or drink in here. I've had plenty of times where I was recording stuff and I forgot that he was in the room and he just started lapping up water as I'm recording, and I just turned around and I'm like, really, buddy? So it's important to make sure that you're typically good around your surroundings, pets out of the room, things like that. I know I'm breaking that rule right now, but typically the whole point is to be like, hey, this is a thing you need to be aware of that maybe you shouldn't do when you're trying to record. Picking him up got me winded. Damn my asthma. My asthma. Uh-huh. I'm not funny. All right, so one of the things you want to do at the beginning is introduce yourself very clearly, whatever name you want to be going by, and a way to contact you. It could be Discord name. Now, if you're going to do Discord name, make sure to include the number tag as well. That way we can actually find you. Like, if you just submit an audition with no way for us to freaking contact you, your voice could sound amazing, but we can't get back to you. So it's very important that you submit in your recording a way for us to contact you. Don't just start doing dialogue. It's very important that you do that. Okay. So, and do it in your natural voice. That way we can hear that there is actually a voice change if you do a voice change. That having been said, here we go. Hi, I am Richie Roberts, and I'm auditioning for the role of Great Sage. Now, you don't have to enunciate it like I just did, but yeah. All right. So the first line that I'm doing is just mill him. So there's multiple ways that I can do this. And keep in mind that me rambling right here and talking to you, even though it's being picked up in Audacity, we're going to cut that later. Because I'm going to show a little bit of editing because I expect you guys to be able to clean up your own vocals. Don't just send me everything all at once. Typically, what I ask is that my actors do 3 different takes of the line of each line that they're presented in an audition. So in this case, if I'm doing 3 lines, which is pretty typical for our characters, unless those characters have less than 3 lines, but typically we'll try to give 3 lines for you to use in your audition. So in this case, mill him, mill him, mill him. So you heard those 3 different takes and how differently they kind of sounded. And it's not just about, oh, I can do this voice. It's about being able to do different emotional takes. So it's like, okay, there's exasperated, and then there's very exasperated, and then there's exhausted, and then there's like, why do I have to put up with this shit? Kind of, different ways to do it. There's different flavors for what you would think is one particular emotion. All right. So here's another thing that's important. I will move on, and my mouse click may have been picked up by my mic. So that's another reason why we do cleaning. If I hear mouse clicking going on, that automatically grates on my nerves and may make it more difficult for me to want to pick your Audition because you haven't cleaned up your audio. So this one is an update of information, but also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. Now, keep in mind that I have the script over there. However, that's because I have two monitors. I could simply minimize this and put the script on the page, but I don't want to show you the whole script. You have to wait for some of this. We're not going to give you all the spoilers. So, an update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. An, an update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. An update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. So, different ways that I'm doing that particular line. Alrighty. And then we go, all right, I'll give this one away because I like the joke that we made because we're still kind of poking shit at game companies or particular games that we think deserve to like have some shit thrown their way. No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. See how with Anthem and Stay, I put a little more oomph into that? Part of the reason why is because I have Stay in bold. So you want to keep that in mind. That's where you want to really kind of not so much enunciate, that's where you emphasize. That's the word I was looking for. You really want to emphasize that word. And as a director, I put that in there as kind of a way to clue my voice actors in, like, this is the important word, you know? No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. Now, you don't have to overemphasize it. It's just making sure that the emphasis is on that word. And technically, Anthem doesn't have a bold on it, so you don't have to do that. No, unlike Anthem, she nope, and it's okay. Bloopers happen. That's good. You cut them out. At least for auditions. For the recording purposes, we actually like our bloopers and we'll ask you to keep them in. No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. See how I put like a little giggle on it? And it's like, no, unlike Anthem. I'm like, no, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. So remember, the key words here were Anthem and Stay. And that's kind of all I've got for you on that. That's literally a recording. Now, got a problem with my freaking chair making so much noise because it's a wobbly, noisy little punk. I would say, please make sure that you don't have something like this. This is just a temporary thing. And I know that my audio is going to pick that up. But that is the recording. Let's stop it here. Okay. So there should have been plenty of dead air in places like this. So you highlight this. This is a quick and easy way. Go up to Effect, down to Noise Reduction, click on Get Profile, and then you just double click and it highlights the entire thing. And then you go to Effect, Noise Reduction, and hit OK. Now, you're still going to get some of those mouse clicks in there, especially if you didn't highlight an area that had a noise click, a noisy mouse click, and I just delete those out. Now, remember, if you need to separate something, Control I, or whatever Control is on your Mac, and then for if you want to silence something, Control L. That just mutes everything. And then, of course, Control Z, bring you right back. All right, so let's go through this real quick and start cleaning this up because this is actually a much longer file than, like, look at that. Just 5.5 minutes. Don't turn in a 5.5 minute audition, guys. Most auditions should be somewhere around a minute and a half. So around 90 seconds. So you definitely want to trim these up. Don't just send me this raw, unedited audition. That's not good. That's no bueno. Also, it's like 2 in the evening, so yeah. Hi, I am Richie Roberts, and I'm auditioning for the role of Great Sage. Now, you don't have to enunciate it like I just did, but yeah. And so you're going to be listening to this. The first line, you're going to be listening to a lot of this, and that's okay. You're going to, if you haven't grown to hate your own voice, you're not a proper editor. There's multiple ways that I can do this. And keep in mind that me rambling right here and talking to you, even though it's. So there we go. Don't just send me. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just looking for where I started my lines. So in this case, Milim. So there we go. I found where it is that I would like to do. So I cut all that out. And I'm cutting out this dead air, a little bit of this dead air here. Not too much. There needs to be enough space between these. So as you can see right here, there's a good amount of space between my introduction and then the first set of lines that I recorded. And then there's space in between the individual takes. So it should just sound like Milim, Milim, Milim. So there we go. So you heard those three different. And now we're looking for. I'm going to look for the breaks in this and then just check. Why do I have to put up with this shit? Kind of, you know. So I'm looking for the breaks. And then as I go through the bit. All right. So as I go through the breaks, this is kind of my cheating way because I've been editing for like over a decade and cutting sound. So Audition. So there we go. And so this one is an update of information, but also, yes, the angels. So, okay. So I also know my hotkeys like space will play if a place becomes too technologically advanced. Now, so I think the line will actually get started about here. So if simply make minimize. I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. So let me check this. An update of information. There we go. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. Now, I don't think this is an update of information. But now, I know what I was trying to do there, but I don't think I actually needed to have two ands, so I'll go ahead and cancel that out. An update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe the. So let's get that out of the way. An update of information. But also, yes. Okay, so that's too long of a pause, I can tell from that. But I do want to make sure that there is a long enough pause there. So let's go back and listen. An update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. So maybe that's long enough, or maybe you want it a little shorter? An update of information. But also, yes, the angels will wipe these lands clean if a place becomes too technologically advanced. So, and there we go. So there we are. We move on to the next thing. And then we go, all right, I'll give. Okay, so this is just me rambling on about the cool line that we think, that I think I wrote. And I do think it's a cool line, but, you know, that we think that's just me kind of patting my own ego. No. Unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. So there we go. And I explain emphasis on the correct syllables. No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. No, you don't. So I can cut all this out because we've already heard that, especially for this video. Unlike Anthem, she. Nope. And it's okay. Bloopers happen. Yeah, there you go. At least we're not expecting you to be perfect when you record, but we are expecting you to clean up your imperfections. No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. See how I put. So, unless I record, and it looks like I recorded one more, you know, because I can see that the wave pattern looks similar. No, unlike Anthem, she had the good sense to stay dead. So remember the. Okay, so I think at this point, I would say, yep, and that, but that, and that is literally it. So now, now the audition. Now some people will ask you to normalize. I'm not going to go that far, but if you need to do it, just highlight the whole thing. You come down here to normalize, and you hit OK. And what it's going to do, it's going to mess with your peak amplitude by -3 decibels. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's not much. It's not a big deal.
Hi, I am Richie Roberts, and I'm auditioning for the role of Great.
You don't really hear that much of a difference.
Milim.
Especially, but I will say that if you're going to normalize, you need to do your normalization to the whole thing, all your bloopers, your extra words that you're going to cut out, everything, and then do um your noise removal, because you want to normalize everything first, then your noise removal. It's important that you know to do the process in that order, because otherwise, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of stuff going on in the background from my audio, so you wouldn't really notice it, thankfully. But just don't do it in that way. All right, so Control Z, Dan, and there we go. That's literally it. All right. So here's the thing when exporting. Okay. Normally, if you're recording for me, when it comes to actually recording character dialogue, when we get to the real actual recording session, wave. That is how I do it. And yes, I call it wave. I don't call it WAV or WAV. It just sounds really silly when you call it that. And there's a lot of people in the industry that call it a wave too. I've heard people call it. Typically, if I hear someone say WAV or WAV, they're people that haven't worked in the industry, in the voiceover industry, because everybody in the industry calls it a wave. So if you are auditioning for potential projects in the future, there's a little helpful tip. All right, but for my auditions, and I know that this is just a me preference, okay? Please, please, please read the directions thoroughly for whatever project you're auditioning for, because different directors might expect different things. So for our auditions, MP3. So as I said before, we're just gonna go Richie Roberts, and then we're gonna call it Great Sage Audition. Okay, and that's literally it. I saved it in the Slime 9 folder because it is Slime 9, and that's basically it. I don't have to save the whole Audacity file. Got it right there. And then if I want to go into, that's pictures. Nope, I need to be in abridged. I have lots of folders that you definitely don't need to see. All right. Okay. See, where is, aha, there it is. So I don't know if you can hear it. So we're just gonna quickly change the audio from Audacity to Media Player. Let's hope that that plays.
Hi, I am Richie Roberts, and I'm auditioning for the role of Great Sage. Becomes too technologically advanced.
So as you guys can hear, the recording's there. It's set up. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. There's my desktop background. Please enjoy that. Okay, so the auditions, I'm going to bring this over. This should be a page that you guys are very familiar with if you're auditioning. Now, I did have to add a bunch of extra stuff here recently. So there we go. That's much better. Okay, so I had to update this. So yeah, just know that there was a lot more. There was a lot more. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take. Now it says my drive. It says my drive right here. These are all the auditions, and there's a lot of them. I'm just gonna go into my drive, abridging. Nobody really sees this except me and like a few others. And I'm just gonna put this down as, drag and drop it in there. Let it go. I'm probably gonna rename it as like, okay, so Great Sage Audition. Okay, rename. Gonna rename it as Great Sage Audition Template. Uh, so people know what it's supposed to look like. And now I'm just gonna get the link, gonna copy that link. Viewer, viewer, not editor. You can't edit it. Okay, and then here's what I do. The audition should sound like this. So I'm gonna highlight this right here. Right click and insert link. That link is going to be there, and I'm gonna apply that, and that will now take you to that. So it loads. And there you go. Guys, that is it. It is just that simple. I know this is kind of a long video, but I hope it helped because I can explain it all the live long day, but sometimes seeing how it happens is a lot easier on everyone. And I hope this helped you make a better audition, if not for us, then potentially for some other projects that you have coming up in the future. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Bye bye for now.